In February 1949, police invaded a warehouse on Leopold Road in West Sussex. Inside, they found out numerous 40-gallon drums and containers of rigorous sulphuric acid, and another shocking crime scene was waiting for them outside. They found about 28 pounds of molten human body fat, a human foot, gallstones, and dentures. The acid drums and other stuff were enough for the investigators to figure out what had happened. Haigh had killed someone and melted their bodies so no one could find any clue. Though, what would become more dreadful over the course of the examination was that he had done it before and had the intention to do it again, had it not been for one small mistake. In this video, we're going to uncover a dreadful murder mystery. Before we start, make sure to press the subscribe button and please don't miss hitting the bell icon. George Haigh was not born as a killer. He had been born into a rich traditional family in Yorkshire and also was awarded numerous scholarships throughout his educational life. His charming youth ended at the age of 25 when he was detained and jailed for fraud. Upon his custody, his bride left him, and his traditional relatives decided they required nothing to do with him. After serving 2 years, he was unconfined from prison and moved to London, where he developed as a chauffeur. Though, despite serving time for fraud, he sustained to fiddle unsuspecting humanitarians out of their money. He would pretend to be a lawyer and would often sell fraudulent stock shares from the plantations of dead clients. Finally, he was caught when one of his clients understood he had misspelled his untrue name on a legal document. In the year 1939, he was detained and imprisoned again, this time condemned to 4 years for fraud. While in prison, he realized that his main downfall was that he had left his fraud victims alive to account for all the crimes. He began investigating the French murderer Georges Seurat, who had been melting his victims in sulphuric acid. Using his free time, he planned his own method of dissolving bodies in numerous forms of acid by working on mice. Finally, he found that it took 30 minutes for a small field mouse to melt, and was able to compute how much acid and time he would need for a full-grown man. 4 years later, after he got free from the prison, he took a job at an engineering firm in the accounting department. Soon he ran into an old friend, William McSwan, whom he had functioned as a chauffeur and told him about his new venture as a landlord. Though he had a well-paying job at an engineering firm, he became envious of McSwan's apparently lavish lifestyle and the little effort he looked to put into it. A few months after bouncing into him, he lured McSwan to a wild basement and hit him over the head. Then he put his body into a 40-gallon drum and filled with rigorous sulphuric acid. Riding the high of his effective murder, he took over his landlord duties, and when the elder McSwan became doubtful, as their son had not returned home, George killed them as well. Left with their money and properties, he moved into Onslow Court Hotel. After pretending interest in a house that was for sale, he killed the owners and disposed of them at a warehouse where the McSwan family had been killed. The warehouse appeared to be the perfect place, as it was comparatively remote and had a manhole where the human slush could be easily disposed. After 5 murders, he rented a large warehouse, with more space for drums and acid mixtures. Olive Durand Deacon was a rich widow who lived at Onslow Court Hotel with Haigh. Olive supposed herself something of a discoverer and found that Haigh worked at an engineering firm and asked if she could talk about an idea she had for false fingernails. Haigh took the chance to lure her to his warehouse and killed her there. The investigators discovered her body outside Leopold Road warehouse, and unlike his preceding disposal, the Leopold Road warehouse had no drain and no manhole, so he dumped it in a pile of debris behind the warehouse, where it was easily exposed by investigators. Upon the discovery of her body, Haigh was arrested. The jury took only minutes to rerun an embarrassing verdict on him and sentenced him to death. On August 10th of 1949, he was executed for his crimes. So guys, if you want me to make some videos on more murder mystery, please share comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and do subscribe to the channel for future updates.